What's up, guys? My name is Khan and we're back today with more Scrap Mechanic, and today we're looking at, wait, is that a creeper? Oh, right, so we're back today in Scrap Mechanic, and I decided to make myself a little bit of an AI creeper in Scrap Mechanic because it seems everybody is playing Minecraft nowadays, and I figure, well, let's just make a creeper in Scrap Mechanic. So we've got this epic little creeper, and I did try and mimic the leg movements as much as possible. The only thing I don't really like is the fact that the tote block heads in Scrap Mechanic kind of suck. We only really have 4 tote block heads, and none of them really look like a creeper face. But we've got this awesome little AI creeper, and it's a pretty simple system, so we can just put down a remote control block here, and we have to paint it green, of course. And if we power this and turn it on, you can see the creeper starts moving towards the nearest player or AI tracker. So in the mod pack, there are these sort of, what are they, tracker blocks or something like that? These little guys, trackers, exactly that. And if we put one of them down, the creeper should go towards that because it's now the closest object. And you can see when it gets there, instead of ticking, it just sort of opens its mouth and then explodes. So really, really cool stuff. And I figure what we'll do today is put down a bunch of trackers and see if we can blow up some stuff with the creepers, and then maybe look at how it all works, because it is a really, really cool system, and it's a very interesting build. It's just a very simple following AI, but it's done in a different way than I normally do it, and I really, really like it. It makes it super, super awesome. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna spawn a bunch of creepers, and let's try and space them out as much as possible. It doesn't really matter if they're facing in any particular direction. They might get caught on trees. They are stupid. They don't exactly move away from stuff. They just kind of, you know, walk towards whoever. So if there's a tree in the way, they'll just kind of walk towards it. Then we'll just take a car, a standard, you know, Humvee car. Pretty much use these for everything. And we'll just cover it in AI trackers, I guess. And I mean, this should be perfect, right? We'll see if they can hopefully blow up this entire car. That's kind of a lot of trackers, but we should be good to go. And then we need a switch to turn on all the creepers. Now, I didn't make the creepers activate with motion. As I'm recording this, I realized I probably should have made the creepers activate when you get close to them, or when an object gets close to them, and maybe have them sort of roaming or something. But I feel like we could do that in a version 2.0. This is just a really simple following AI, and it uses a few little tricks, because you'll notice if you look at the creepers, they're full of logic. The entire creeper is full of logic, and we can go near it because they're turned off, but everything is just all jam-packed in here. And then I actually use Brent Batch's mirror mod to kind of place the explosives inside of it, so you can kind of glitch stuff into it. And you'll probably notice from the connection tool, we do use invisible blocks to make the creepers actually move, but it's all good. It works out well. And let's blow up this Jeep, shall we? So here we go. Let's turn them on. And they're all moving. Fantastic. They actually look pretty good, I think, at a distance. If you look at the creepers, okay, here he goes. Yeah, he didn't do like any damage. I think they need a bigger explosion radius. So you can see the creepers are kind of small, and they only use small how did you get over there? Where did you come from? Hello, no, go for the Jeep. Go for the Jeep, come here, yeah, go for the Jeep. But you can see they only do use small explosives. So they're like, what, 2x5 or something? And I believe there's 3 or 4 small explosives all kind of jammed in there. It would have been better to use the large explosives, because obviously the large explosive is just that much bigger. But I wanted to make the creeper kind of a realistic size to the dwarf that we've got. So if we spawn in the creeper, you can see... Really? Really? I really, really like this build, and to be honest, I do want to kind of build more AI mobs in Scrap Mechanic. Like, not necessarily Minecraft mobs, but stuff that, you know, moves around and attacks you and does all sorts of things, and definitely you know, glitch some more AI all in together. But the reason I made the creeper the size that I did, this sort of 2x2 frame, rather than making it larger for the large explosives, is I wanted to make it kind of realistic to the size of the dwarf. For some reason, the scrap mechanic dwarf is tiny, and I mean, that just sucks. We all know that. He's so small, and the creeper already is even now just a little bit tall, maybe even 1 block smaller. But I felt like this is a pretty decent size and allows us to fit a ton of that logic in there. And we definitely need to glitch more of it together. But I think I can tune this logic and make it a little bit better for a generic sort of mob and then use it for all sorts of stuff. But as you can see, you'll probably figure out how this creeper works. There are invisible wheels. So if we put our lift over it, you can actually see the invisible wheels and the invisible pipes. The invisible wheels are actually how it drives. It drives with the tank setup. We've also got some invisible logic blocks on the back there. It's just a giant mess, but it works out pretty well. And the wheels, you can see we kind of interfere with them. So you can't really walk right next to it, but it'll explode if you're that close anyway, so it's not really a big deal. The only time it's kind of awkward is when you get stuff like this where, you know, there's just invisible parts here for no reason. So the AI for the creeper is actually just this little tank drive system here. And then it's kind of all jammed together. So it does use mod pack logic. It's got a little player indicator and pretty much just follows the player. Now, what I really like about this system is that it uses number logic. So if you feed a player indicator from the mod pack into this AD converter, it actually does the math to determine how far off you are from center. And why that matters is so you can see when we go over here, for example, and we run around, as it needs to turn a steeper angle, it'll actually turn faster. And as it turns a shallower angle, it'll turn slower. And why that is important is that when it's trying to line up with the target, it'll always line up straight and approach the target directly. Sometimes when you're doing some of the logic stuff, when we do like line followers, for example, with sensors, because the sensors are either a 1 or a 0, it's very abrupt. So your creation doesn't always follow the line smoothly. It kind of, you know, jerks back and forth and goes from one side to the other and goes too far the one way and too far back the other way. And it's not really a good system. This system, you can see, no matter what, it'll always go directly towards the target. It won't overshoot it. And then you can see when it gets too close to the target, it'll actually stop. So this one's set pretty far away. We can reset that to 0. So now it'll just keep moving forever until we're right on it. But you can see we can run over here, and it'll turn faster no matter what. But once it's lined up straight, it never really overshoots the turn. But it's a really, really cool AI system, and I really like how it works with the number logic. I want to use this for other mobs for sure. But of course, when we apply that to the creeper, we get the exact same thing. And when the creeper stops, instead of it just stopping, it also triggers the countdown timer for the explosion. So if you get within the creeper for, I think, 1 or 2 seconds, it starts to explode, which is just really, really awesome. I really like this build, and I think it's super neat how the mod pack lets us do some really simple AI stuff. So maybe at some point in time, I'll do a little simple tutorial if you guys want to see how this works, although I'm pretty sure Durf has done some tutorials on this mod pack logic stuff. But this is a really, really easy setup for a very simple bot, and you can see it's just really, really nice for following players around. Where are you going, creeper? You're gonna see, it doesn't even do that much damage. It just took out like the grill and that's it. And the walking animation is really kind of funny. It's just done with some non-collision blocks. So the walking blocks don't actually do anything. And you can see it gets stuck on a hill. So it's got these little pipes in the front, which helps stabilize the whole creeper. There's some times where you hit it with a hammer. Actually, I had Scrapman join my game to show him the creeper, and he hit it with a hammer and knocked it over. So yeah, kind of exactly like that. But I decided to add some pipes just to make it not look like this, but unfortunately, this is where you really can tell that there's some invisible shenanigans going on. But definitely let me know what you guys think of this build in the comments down below. Let me know what other AI stuff you'd like to see in Scrap Mechanic. I do want to make some mobs that actually walk around and will explore on their own, and when they come across a player, they'll attack the player. Not necessarily a creeper or a Minecraft mob. I think it would be cooler to have some stuff with spud guns, maybe, that runs around and shoots, as well as like dodges trees and free roams. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And while you're at it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time. All right, creeper. Oh yeah, one last thing. You guys have probably noticed that the black hole cannon has been in the map the whole time, and we haven't actually used it yet. So we're just going to use it right now to clean up the mess, and we'll spawn in a bunch of explosives.